The launch of the third Hangor-Class Submarine PNS Mangro on August 15, 2025, marks a significant moment in the ongoing modernization of the Pakistan Navy's underwater capabilities. This event is part of a long-term strategy rooted in both defense planning and industrial development, reflecting the evolution of Pakistan's maritime priorities over the past several decades. While the ceremony was held at the Wuchang Shipbuilding Industry Group's Shuangliu base in Wuhan, China, the implications of this launch stretch far beyond the physical location or the singular milestone. It represents the continuity of a broader transformation within the Navy, tied to long-standing objectives of strategic self-reliance, deterrence, and regional presence. The development of the Hangor-Class submarine program began as a response to Pakistan's aging undersea fleet and the shifting dynamics of naval warfare in the Indian Ocean region. Previously, Pakistan relied heavily on French-origin Augusta-class submarines, which were gradually modernized through local overhauls, but had reached a limit in terms of technological upgrade potential and operational life. Recognizing the need for next-generation platforms that could address modern threats and missions, the Navy entered into a partnership with China, selecting a design derived from the Type 039B submarine, a diesel-electric vessel adapted for long-endurance patrols, stealth operations, and multi-role deployment. In 2015, Pakistan and China finalized an agreement under which 8 submarines would be constructed. 4 were assigned for construction in Chinese shipyards to ensure rapid initial production, while the remaining 4 would be produced domestically in Pakistan under a structured transfer of technology program. This dual arrangement served multiple purposes: accelerating the timeline for fleet expansion, building domestic technical capacity, and reducing long-term dependence on external suppliers. The inclusion of local construction was a critical element, reflecting a strategic goal of eventually moving toward greater self-sufficiency in defense production. The launch of PNS Mangro follows the earlier launches of the first 2 Hangor-class submarines in April 2024 and March 2025. Each successive launch demonstrates consistent progress in the execution of the production schedule. PNS Mangro is the final submarine to be launched from Chinese shipyards, after which the program's center of gravity shifts to Pakistan itself, where construction efforts are already underway at Karachi Shipyard and engineering works. The next submarine in the sequence, commonly referred to as PNS Tasneem, is currently under construction in Karachi, marking the beginning of Pakistan's domestic production phase. Building submarines is one of the most complex undertakings in naval engineering. Each vessel involves the integration of thousands of components and subsystems, ranging from propulsion and power generation to communications, environmental control, and automated control systems. Every weld, seal, and circuit must meet exacting standards to ensure survivability, performance, and safety during submerged operations. The fact that Pakistan is now entering the domestic construction phase shows that significant training, infrastructure upgrades, and planning have already taken place. Pakistani engineers and technicians are now working side by side with experienced Chinese personnel to absorb the expertise necessary to independently manage future submarine projects. The Hangor-class submarines are designed to meet the operational needs of modern navies operating in complex maritime environments. The design emphasizes silent operation, long patrol endurance, and the ability to operate independently in both shallow coastal waters and deeper open seas. These characteristics are essential in the Arabian Sea and surrounding waters, where maritime traffic, fishing fleets, and naval activity can create cluttered acoustic conditions that challenge detection and evasion capabilities. The submarine's hull shape, noise reduction measures, and onboard systems are all tailored to reduce detectability and increase survivability in such environments. The strategic value of these submarines lies not only in their technological features but also in the operational flexibility they offer. Submarines provide navies with options that surface ships cannot easily replicate: persistent underwater surveillance, discreet presence near potential flashpoints, and the ability to remain undetected in a high-threat environment. They can operate alone or in support of larger task forces, gather intelligence, track surface or underwater vessels, and act as deterrents through their sheer uncertainty. A submarine that is known to be deployed but cannot be located becomes a psychological and strategic factor in itself. This is particularly relevant for navies that operate under constrained budgets but require capabilities that can tip the strategic balance in a specific theater. In the context of Pakistan's maritime domain, these submarines offer the potential to extend patrol coverage and influence beyond traditional boundaries. As the Indian Ocean becomes increasingly contested, with various regional and extra-regional actors asserting presence, the ability to monitor and respond to developments under the surface becomes a critical element of national defense. Pakistan's ports, energy corridors, and maritime economic zones depend on stable sea lines of communication. The introduction of modern submarines supports this objective by providing a continuous, layered defense that complements surface and aerial assets. From an industrial and technological perspective, the Hangor-Class program contributes to the long-term development of Pakistan's defense production ecosystem. Involvement in submarine construction enhances shipyard facilities, builds technical expertise, and creates high-skill employment opportunities. It encourages the development of support infrastructure such as simulation centers, training academies, testing facilities, and supply chains for specialized components. These capabilities have dual use, not only for future submarine programs but also for broader naval construction efforts, including surface combatants, auxiliaries, and autonomous systems. The project also plays a role in shaping Pakistan's naval doctrine and its approach to maritime power projection. Rather than focusing solely on fleet size, the doctrine appears to be shifting toward quality, capability integration, and adaptability to regional threats. The Hangor-class submarines fit within this framework as versatile assets that provide a cost-effective way to maintain presence, carry out missions autonomously, and support wider fleet operations without requiring large-scale deployments. The presence of a modern submarine fleet changes the calculus of naval planning, not just for Pakistan but also for any actor operating in the same region. It's important to note that the full utility of such a program is realized only over time. The submarines must go through rigorous sea trials, crew training, and integration with existing command and control structures. Crew readiness is as important as platform capability, and efforts have likely been underway for years to prepare officers and sailors for the transition to the new class. This includes not just technical training but also operational planning, tactical development, and the refinement of procedures that will govern real-world deployments. The launch of PNS Mangro, therefore, is not a singular headline or short-term achievement. It is a key step in a deliberate, complex, and strategically important process that spans years of planning, collaboration, investment, and execution. It reflects Pakistan's intent to maintain a credible and modern naval force that can meet the challenges of the present while preparing for the uncertainties of the future. As the remaining submarines are built and gradually brought into service, the Navy will enter a new era of undersea operations that is markedly different from the past, more self-reliant, more capable, and more strategically flexible.